Welcome back, welcome back to In Black America Radio. This is your host, Rasta B. It is Friday, November 24th, 2017. You know what I'm saying? Day after the ThanksTaking. And we're going to get into this. A lot of current events we're going to get into today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about today's title. Today's show title is titled, The More Things Change, the more they stay the same. We're going to be talking about the slave trade in Libya, China relationship with North Korea currently, the Trump investigation, and a whole lot more. Basically, a lot of current events. I will be dipping into the Where Do We Go From Here book. And I might even scroll through a couple of pages of my white trash book, 400 Years of Classism in America. But let's go ahead and just give you out a number. Call in at 646-716-4654. And this is In Black America Radio. So before I do anything, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host, Smoke. As always, Smoke, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's good?
All right. Shit, what up, man?
Shit, big Friday. I ain't had to work today, so, you know, it was a good day.
Really good day.
Yeah, back in the building for another one.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking, I've just been looking at a lot of shit, man, scrolling through these news and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of interesting shit going on out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? But that's what made me really just come to that simple term. You know what I'm saying? The more things change, the more they stay the same. You know, I'm reading the Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community book from Martin Luther King. I read that book to my sons before they go to bed. And it's really mind-boggling how true that statement is. But you don't know because you don't want to look back in your past. You know what I'm saying? But it's mind-boggling to see that we're literally living in the same condition, just different years. And we're duped to believe that we're progressing because the years continue. You dig what I'm saying? You're listening to black people in 2017, Smoke, saying, oh, like I still hear this, and it trips me the fuck out if people still believe it. Oh, you see, the good thing is, with the racial climate going on in America, the good thing is the young whites, they're not believing in what the old whites say, and once the old whites die off, then there'll be progress because the young whites, and they don't hold the same racial hatred. Why I was watching Roots, right? Not Roots with Kuta Kinte. You got to watch Roots, the next generation, right? So they might be like a generation out of slavery. Like your mama might have been an enslaved African, or your grandmother definitely was an enslaved African, and your mother then might have been enslaved as a child, but then growing up, the Civil War came, you know what I'm saying, and then came you. There's a scene in there where the girl says that to the father, where she says, oh, Dad, that's old white people. The new white folks don't think like that. And I still like the fucking late 1800s or some shit. Late 1800s going on to the early 1900s. You know what I'm saying? When this was said. And it's crazy that 2017 we still hold on to that same ideology with no proof that it's even true. You know what I'm saying? It's just a hope. It's just a hope and a wish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you see, like in the numerous stories, and they always seem to be like college kids, high school kids with You know, you seen the one case with the girls, they had nigga or something to that effect on their, you know, written on them, and, you know, the blackface. You know, you don't see those cases. So these are just young white kids that's perpetuating the same stereotypes that, you know what I mean, it's people from older generations been doing. So it's just like, the proof is there. The proof is there.
Repeat this. This might be mind-blowing to black people, right? But all the old races, they were young at one point. I know, maybe I should drop a bomb on that. You know what I'm saying? Because that might be too profound right there. The old races used to be young. They used to be young kids. They was 20-year-olds and teenagers. They might have not necessarily shared the same viewpoints as their parents. You see what I'm saying? So how long do we follow these stupid-ass narratives, but never follow the one most important narrative, Smoke, which is do for self, take care of yours, stand on your square. We don't want to do that. We want to keep on siding with hope, that we hope shit change. We hope people get better. We hope. And we pass it on to our children and pass it on to our children. It's going to be the year 3017. And black people are going to be like, but that's okay, because these new set of white people, they going to be better than. It's like, man, y'all, we in 3017 still saying? and like I said, the shit trips me out because I'm reading this book from Martin Luther King called Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. And every time I hear black people say, yo, brother, what book should I read? If I'm looking on Facebook, they had a lady, you know, a woman say that. Hey, what books do you suggest I should read? Sun Tzu. They came before Columbus. And all these other stupid books and shit. I'm like, read Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community by Martin Luther King. Why? Because that's literally talking about the conditions you're in right now. I'm not even going to say that's the origin. I'm not even going to say that. What I'm going to say is read that book and you will have an overstanding of what's going on currently in our situation. When you read that book, something else that you need, and you can Google this right now, you need to have the capitalistic pyramid. Right, Smoke? You need to have that capitalistic pyramid.
Yeah.
Not the ancient Kemetic pyramid, not the pyramids in China, not the pyramids in America, for the Moors out there. You need to check out the capitalistic pyramid so you can see the rankings. So when you're listening to these people talk, you understand why they're saying what they're saying and why they're moving like they're moving. You see what I'm saying? The funny thing about it, Smoke, we've been talking about the capitalistic pyramid, right? And I'm listening to maybe Roland Martin or something like that, right? And they like, see, the thing that bugs me out is the church community. You know what I'm saying? The Christian churches and how they could back Roy Moore and how they could back Trump and how they could look at the capitalistic pyramid. And what does it say, Smoke? For the religious side.
Well, for the religious side, it has we fool you.
We fool you. So when you understand we fool you, that's the religious tier of this capitalistic pyramid, is we fool you, you're no longer gonna say, I I can't believe they're going for Roy Moore. I can't believe all these Christian pastors, black, white, woman, don't matter, they all laying their hands on Trump and they saying that, so we got to bless Trump and all. You won't even you won't fall for none of it because you'll understand. Their purpose is to fool you. That's their purpose. When I'm sitting over here wondering to myself, yo, why the hell the rich people, the entertainers, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that, why these guys always telling the working class poor blacks to pull our money together, to unify, what to do with our bread, and all kind of shit. Like, we ain't got no money. We scratching our ass trying to get bread. That's why a lot of black men is in jail. A lot of black women is in jail. We trying to make ends meet. Why y'all? Then you get the capitalistic pyramid. On the bottom of that pyramid, it says, we feed all, we work for all. The second tier, what that second tier say, Smoke?
We eat for you.
Ah.
That's right. That's the upper
We
class.
eat for you. So here you go, Smoke. Why Oprah, Jay-Z, Puffy, Lucky Simmons, why they don't come together? Look at that pyramid so you can understand where these people lay on the chart. We eat for you, nigga. We eat your shit. We eat your shit. Russell Simmons, come buy my Rush card. Out here exploiting the hood. Exploiting the hood. No, Russell, he's for the people. Look, he went out there. He was one of the people fighting against the rates between crack and cocaine and mass incarceration. He's for the people. Man, that Bati boy just want to exploit us. But we don't get it because all we do is look at smiles. And if a nigga smile and can sell you a good story, we eat that shit up. All of these millionaires, all these Tyrese billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that we needed could have been got. Why is not being got? Because that second tier, where your politicians, your sports analysts, and things of this nature, your Breakfast Club, your Angela Rye, and all kind of shit like that, we eat for you. These will be the people that will sit there and tell you, and Trump's plan and Trump's tax reform plan and this and this, and it's going to disproportionately, all of them make over $75,000 a year. They're not going to get hit. All of them make over $75,000 a year.
Shit, probably more than that.
No, right. No, but I'm saying, but at the minimum, it's 75 up. You ain't getting no heavy tax. Everybody making less than 75,000. Our shit gonna end up increasing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but then when you hear these people talking, here they go. Oh yeah, and this is what's happening, and this is why we trying to impeach Trump and woo. Why you telling me something? Why? Why are you telling me all of this? To inform me? Here's the joke, Smoke. In my 37 years living in America, it's never been a secret how the Republicans, Republicans' political game is ran. You dig what I'm saying? It's a joke. Everybody, I remember being young and people saying, "Yo, you don't want to jump into join the army if a Republican is in office because you know they're gonna start a war." Like, there was things that we knew. Tax cuts, we know that about Republicans. Less government, we know that about Republicans. They're about to go fuck over the poor, we know that about Republicans. But guess what? Hey, let me tell you what they're trying to do. They doing it, been doing how long? How old are you? None of this is new. If you're 6 years old, I understand if you're shocked by the shit going on. If you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s and shit like that, come on, man. You got enough history to know this is the plan. The question is, why we never have measures that counter this? We never have measures that counter shit. All we do, and that's how I know these people, the second-tier people that eat for us, they need us to be victims so they can be our hero. That's the reason why black people, white people, let me tell you about this funky ass, right? White people is replacing their politicians. You know why? Because they're fucking politicians. Black people, we're so desperate for leadership. We're so desperate to be led. We're so desperate for a fucking master that we look at our politicians as leaders. We look at sports athletes as leaders. We look at entertainers as leaders. That's how desperate we are as a people. That's why we can't see, you know what I'm saying, like how to correct our condition.
Yeah.
Because these are leaders now instead of fucking paid politicians.
Yeah.
I mean, paid politicians or public servants, I should say. Public servants. No, they become our leaders now. Go ahead, Smoke.
No, I mean, if you look at the actual image of the pyramid of the capitalist system, you know, the bottom dwellers, us, you know what I mean, where we feed all, we're actually holding up the weight of everything. So you even just look at the picture, it's like you are really the driving force. So when you think about all of your habits, you know what I mean, when it comes to like spending, you know, all of the products that the famous people that eat for us, that they promote to us, you know what I'm saying, the clothing, the champagnes and liquor, and we buy that and we consume it and we fatten their pockets. So it's like, you know, we pretty much are the battery of everybody else. And we get fooled by the religious leaders and our so-called black community leaders into doing this, into pretty much standing still and not correcting the condition. And so everybody else can continue to just get fat off of us just standing still. Because we continue to do the same things. Like we feed our own demise, you know what I'm saying? While everybody else is getting fat, we getting skinny. They just eating off of us, man. And so if you just look at the image of the pyramid itself, you know, you see the people on the bottom with their hands just holding up the whole thing. Like we make it go, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's how this shit works. We keep this whole shit propped up while complaining about the system. What people don't understand, the thing when it comes to systems, this is the way I look at systems. Ain't near one of these motherfuckers out here came from the planet whatever. You know what I'm saying? On some rocket ship. They don't got green blood. I don't believe in that reptilian bullshit. You know what I'm saying? These is fucking human beings. These niggas done kicked our ass so fucking bad, Smoke. You got niggas telling you, no, they're really reptiles and they're shapeshifters, just to justify why you getting fucked up. That's how you can tell your woman and your children, so you don't look pussy. So you like, yo, I'm going to tell them that these niggas is reptiles. It's the occult. These niggas Masons. They doing blood rituals and sacrifices. It's a bloodline. And they're going to tell you all this shit. but not one time tell you, well, what's your countermeasures to the information that you got. You know what I'm saying? If I'm on the block and I know this shit is wild out here, mad bloods and shit running up and down the block and shit like that, these niggas shooting and all kind of shit, but I got to go outside and get food for the kid for the house, I'm not going to walk out there empty. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding. In case I got to back somebody up off me. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to call my people and be like, yo, I'm about to run to, yo, what y'all up to? Yo, walk with me to the store. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding, and I got more people with me. Like, we never have an issue having countermeasures. Like, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like countermeasures. Measures or whatever, yeah, like countermeasures or counter reaction, whatever the word I'm looking for, to combat black people. That's why I be playing the songs I play. You know what I'm saying, in the beginning. Like when you're listening to the Playboy
Cardi.
Is it Playboy Cardi or is that NBA Youngboy?
Yeah.
The one I do that.
Playboy.
That's NBA Youngboy?
Playboy Cardi.
Right. That in New York, I merely rock. Ride from the op, shooting at the op. Yeah, okay, so y'all can shoot at each other and shit. Y'all can fight each other. You can sell drugs to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can do all this shit to counter black. But when it comes to any other fucking race, niggas shrivel up. And they turn puss. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man. That don't even make sense.
Because because it goes into what I just said. Like, we play into our own downfall. So those are things that we allowed to do. So when we allowed to do it, we flaunt those things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot at the op. I'm gonna go take him off the block. I'm gonna spend $10,000 in the Fendi store. I'm gonna do all of that shit. Is like we prop those up as, you know, gangster, the fly guy with all the bread. You know what I'm saying? He sauce stuff and all that shit. Those are things that we prop up in the community. So somebody, you know, average person, you come like, yeah, you see him coming with the bags or whatever. You like, man, I spent $20,000 in Gucci, my nigga. Everybody gonna give you props. Like, what? Let me see what you got. Oh, my boy. You know what I'm saying? But that's really like something that it ain't helping Black America and it ain't helping you. Like, you getting material shit. So it's like we not only do we play into it, but then we put those same actions, we prop those up as great actions. You know what I'm saying? It's like badges of honor almost. You know what I mean? The things that, like, even when you look at the women, you know, 20 years ago when we was younger, it wasn't no pride in being a stripper or a whore or any of that shit.
None of them.
Now you got fucking slut walks and you got all the strippers, you know, everybody's a stripper, you know what I'm saying, twerking all the damn time, ass out, you know what I mean? All of those things is prideful, but it really don't help black women or it don't help black culture at all, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it degrades the women and everything, but women actually participate in it, and they will get mad if you correct them on it. So it's like, you could point to numerous shit within the community, you know what I'm saying, from financial to materialism, to the relationship between black and man, you know what I mean, black man and black woman, and you see the problems in it. We participate in it. And at some point, we got to look at ourselves and say, all right, this is the role that we playing in this, and correct those. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, we just being a battery for this fuck ass economy that ain't ours. You know what I'm saying?
And look at this: when you're a battery, just to use that analogy, when you're a battery, eventually you're gonna lose your juice. And when you lose your juice, that battery gets what? Replaced. Now, here's a funny thing. Speaking of battery, let me read this title. Doug Jones' problem. African American voters not energized by Alabama Senate race. Speaking of battery, right, Smoke? Speaking of battery, black people in Alabama isn't energized. So they go, the Inslee Park Recreation Center was beginning to come to life. The song Happy and other upbeat tunes boomed through the loudspeaker, and a crowd was gathering for a chance to glimpse something rarely seen in conservative Alabama, a surging Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate. But Donald Williams was skeptical. The 75-year-old retired UPS worker had come to cheer on Democrat Doug Jones in a campaign that has captured national attention. Has it also generated energy in Alabama's African American community? As of this day, I would say no, says Williams, who is black. And this is Doug Jones' problem. He got to get out and get the voters energized. Now, just so people know, this Alabama, the race going on, this is Doug Jones versus Roy Moore. Okay. With 2.5 weeks left until Election Day, a once unthinkable victory in the heart of the Deep South is within Jones' reach, thanks largely to a string of sexual misconduct allegations against Republican candidate Roy Moore. Jones' campaign believes he can win only if he pieced together an unusually delicate coalition built on intense support from core Democrats and some crossover votes from Republicans disgusted with Moore. Crucial to that formula is a massive mobilization of African Americans who make up about a quarter of Alabama's electorate and tend to vote heavily Democratic. Yet, in interviews in recent days, African Americans, elected officials, community leaders, and voters expressed concerns that Jones' campaign turnout plan was a risk of falling short, or was at risk of falling short. Right now, many African Americans do not know there is an election on December 12th, said State Senate Hank Sanders, Democrat, who is black and support Jones. Excuse me, I call bullshit on that, but let me continue. The challenge for Jones, let me not continue. I call bullshit on that because I get sick of hearing that same stupid shit. Oh, black people ain't coming out because they don't even know that it's going to be an election. How the fuck black people don't know it's going to be an election if you campaigning for black votes? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. How you telling me you campaigning for black votes? You're a Democrat. You're campaigning for black votes, and going to turn around and say that but black people don't even know it's going to be election December 12th. So what kind of campaign should you running? That makes no fucking sense.
Slacking. You really want to say he's slacking? He's slacking.
The whole Democratic Party slacking. The number one complaint with the Democratic Party, according to Rolling Martin and them, is that they're not, since Hillary, they're not even funding to go out and goddamn cater to black people. They wait until right up until election time to have everybody go out there and tell black people to go out there and vote. They ain't campaigning for us, and we ain't asking for shit. You see what I'm saying? It's just disgusting. Before I continue, we got a caller. So let me get that. 314-381. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Bianchi. What's going on?
Come on, brother.
You know, Alabama's a red state, and blacks is not. But here's the thing: if I got sisters and brothers, they voting for more, as far as I understand. Why? It's because of the campaign issues that Donald Trump put forth. Everybody hate this man because of allegations and how people have related to him based on his non-political actions. What is his issues? I'm strongly for school choice. I'm strongly for tax reform, especially that's going to double the exemption for married couples filing jointly. I'm strongly for immigration reform. I'm strongly for getting out of those trade deals like global warming. You know, one time in the history of this planet, it was what? It was an ice like a snowball, right? Covered all over with ice. What happened to that ice? Well, as the planet warms, the ice melts. So that means global warming has been going on for a long damn time because the planet is no longer a snowball.
Right.
So those are the issues for me. And see, you know, we got to come to realize that all black folks ain't poor. And some have worked hard, went to school, and done the right thing in order to position themselves to take advantage of a lot of things. And they don't want to be crippled by some of these ideas that we hear come out of these Democrats. Like this. If you got X number of dollars in your bank account that you already don't pay taxes, what's left over, what you didn't spend, if it's a certain amount of money and you die, you just can't give that to your kids. They want to tax the hell out of them.
I did hear about that.
Right. I mean, do we realize? Absolutely. Do people realize what they're saying? Heck, that extra money you can do a lot of things with. That'd be tuition for a child to go to a college. Saving for a house. Buying a car. All those things. True. I get sick and tired of all them damn taxes and all them crazy ass programs. Leave that stuff up to the state. Like they say that, well, if you have this deal go through with what they call the repeal of Obama care, 19 to 22 people won't have insurance. Duh, they won't have insurance because they don't want the insurance. They won't go out and buy it. But the thing is that you're not no longer making them get involved in something they don't want to get involved in.
Right. And I do agree with that because I'm not a sick person and be, in and out the hospitals. So prior to that, I used to get insurance like maybe every 2 years from my employer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it'll be like I'll get it for 1 year, get a checkup or whatever. I'm good. Good 2 years. I'm good. Then maybe
young people don't never hardly get sick. A young brother can stand on one side of the street and piss clean across the street.
Yeah.
It's when you get old, your piss start dribbling down on your shoes, on your knobs, man, on your Stacy's.
Yeah.
So why you want to make young people? Why you want to make young people?
I think it's a narrative.
Huh?
I think it's just a narrative. And if you keep
that's
saying
all
it over
it is,
and over,
man. It's just a narrative.
Because I know women, they play into the fear game. So if you be like, well, all right, well, we good, we know how we live and how we, stuff like that. I'm not getting the insurance or whatever. Then they'll be the first one to say, from my personal experience, But what happened if something happened? So we're basing everything off of what if, something,
What if?
and things of that nature. So that's money really coming out of my check.
Absolutely.
We haven't used insurance for 5 years.
Plus, you got to pay a hell of a deductible before the insurance start paying. And let me say something about these allegations on Roy Moore. Now we know this woman is talking about something that she done happened to her when she was 14. She's in her 50s now, and she made reference when he was supposed to have been exposing himself to her. She said, this grown woman said, I would have never touched a man's penis, especially an erect one. Now, what kind of goddamn shit is that? Think about it.
I will say I haven't really followed. I haven't followed the case, but
and then wait a minute, hang on, wait a minute. Yeah. Then this other lady, she said that she was in the car with him, and he reached over. That's what she said. She reached over and locked the door. I guess she pushed that knob down, and she said she couldn't get out. Well, duh. That knob, that lock is to keep people from the outside from coming in. All you had to do was pull the handle and get the hell out of there.
Right.
So some of this stuff is a bunch of crap, man. And then some of it is true, but a lot of it is a bunch of crap. And I don't think that's going to fly over with folks, man, because people are getting sick and tired of these news media. They lie and they slant stuff, especially that NPR. Look what they done to Juan Williams. They just got rid of his behind. NPR did over some basic stuff that he said. I mean, it wasn't nothing. And they don't have hardly any black newscasts. They got a few. But I ain't trying to.
Know they got rid of Juan Williams.
Yeah, they got rid of Juan
Williams. And I vote
and hey, you know what? I vote for Democratic politicians. I vote issues, man. Damn all this other crazy stuff. Right.
But see, that's the narrative that black people have to follow. We're not supposed to deal with the parties because we're not invited to none of their parties. We got to vote for the issues. And what issue benefits us, we go for. The issues that don't, we dash away. You can't sit there and just say, I'm voting for a party. That's crazy.
And, look at what the Korean, in New York, you remember when Dinkins was mayor and he had the police get all the street vendors off the sidewalk, coming down the street, riding horses and stuff. You know why he did that? Because Koreans formed a business association, told Dinkins, get these street vendors off the sidewalk because they are undercutting what we're trying to do in our shops where we got to pay you taxes, pay utilities, pay rent, pay for all. So he listened to them because they formed a business coalition. Businesses control politics.
I know that so much because during that time I was a kid, and my mother, that's how she got money, was being a street vendor, selling hats and food and rings, and you're right. You're not paying electricity in a building, rent and nothing like that. You out here with a table, and you put a blanket over the table, you put your product out there, people walk by and buy that. Books.
Absolutely. So them Koreans came together and said, get them people off the street. We can't have this. And he did do it because they formed a business, BUSINESS coalition. Businesses control politics. People just vote.
Yeah. And we don't get that.
Who contributes to campaigns? It's the businesses that contribute to campaign. Black folks, they only put a maximum. If you get them to put $20 in the basket at church, that's a whole lot. Unless you got one of them Eddie Long churches or something like that.
But now you're right about that, Bianchi, because I always try to explain that to black people too when it comes to the politics stuff. And I think that's why we always feel like, oh, well, my vote really don't count. And I keep saying, no, the voting stuff works. We're just playing the game wrong. because
You're right.
you have to fund your politician. If you're not
You gotta
funding your
tell them what
politician,
you want.
you're in the way. You got
You
to.
tell them what you
got
want
to.
them to do. If they don't, get rid of their ass. That stuff
Yeah.
about sex, even John Conyers is accused of. A man's gonna do what he's gonna do now, and I'm not
just
saying
seen
that that's
I
right.
just seen that.
But women
Yeah.
also pull that stuff on men. We know that stuff.
Yeah.
Look at them school teachers
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
having sex with them boys. Go to the website. You got page after page after page after
Yeah,
page.
yeah. But yeah, we don't got representation though. We
No.
we look
Hey,
weak
I'm gonna tell y'all
complaining, you know
something.
what I'm saying?
I'm a lot older than y'all. I don't see a whole lot of more
Yeah.
stuff than you have. And the only thing I can do is give you some recommendations. Don't fall for that stuff. Don't fall for that stuff that black folks need to be voting for Democrats. That's a bunch of bull crap. If it was that damn good, look at what you got. That's just a bunch of crap. Them folks just make money off of it. Your kids in these public schools, they won't let them go. Shit, if that was Moses, he never would have parted the sea because Pharaoh never would have let them go. They will not let your kids get out of them schools. That's why they don't want school choice, because they know parents will take their kids and put them someplace where they feel is best for them. Gotta stop playing.
What it is. That's why I feel like we got to get out this cycle. Because when I'm reading the Martin Luther King book, or I'm reading Booker T. Washington, or the White Trash book, I always say to myself, why am I reading the same things that's happening now in 2017? And this stuff happened in 1960 something, or this happened in late 1800s. I'm like, hey, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It bugs me out because I'm like, that means we ain't changed. The ideology
and I ain't
didn't
saying
change, the game didn't change.
Yeah, we ain't saying that this stuff didn't happen. And even when they tell the story, they always tell the same old story about blacks being and say all blacks was not slaves. Some blacks had, you heard me say this before, blacks has had some Butu businesses from the earliest of time right on through slavery, and nobody even gives them credit. Do you imagine what they had to go through? And we don't talk about them. You can learn a lot from them. We always talk about the ones that's in the field, bent over, and the horrible things that happen to them. We're not trying to negate that, but why we always only tell one side of the damn story?
You know when I realized that? One day it was a couple of years ago, I was chilling with all my old heads. So something just compelled me to ask them. I was like, what was the condition during your life when Martin Luther King was alive? So everybody in the North or the Midwest, they said, well, the way this shit was, if we was in the white people neighborhood, they'll kick our ass. If they came in our neighborhood, we'll kick their ass. That's just how it was. Everybody I said that. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? It was like, that's just what it was. Then there was one guy from the South that was like, yo, it was hell. He was from Mississippi because we called him Mississippi. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, even reading the book, the Jim Crow and all that, that was certain states. You can count these states. But every black person was not living like that.
No.
Now, again, like you said, it's not to negate them and say, well, that's them and this is us. No, you fight for your people. But at the same time, we got to stop making the minority things that happen to us the majority, and the majority of what we was doing now becomes the minority. And then we start to think that we like I saw another documentary where they were speaking on I think it's called Inkwell or something, but it was a place in I think Michigan where there it was like the Poconos or something where all the black civil rights who's who of black America, they went there to vacation. The Ali's, the Malcolms, the Martin Luther Kings, the all of the peoples of the politics that's black. They went there to vacation to get away from the racial tension. And when I read that, I said, wow, because it gives you a different perspective. But if you just keep reading, and the white man had his foot on our neck, and he was lynching us and burnt down our towns, and then you start to think that's what happened everywhere. And that happened to everybody. And then you start to make that your reality, when in all actuality, that was the minority. The majority of us is still standing tall. You can't do that to everybody. And I believe that if we know that, then we'll walk with a little bit more pride. You got black people that don't even like to know their history from a certain period of time. And I keep telling them, if you read stories from the late 1800s, after, like during Reconstruction for black people, we was getting bread during them times. Our issue was white aggression, but our peoples fought. We didn't just curl up and die. Now, we started curling up and die as we got older. As we got into the 60s, 70s, and believing, you know what I'm saying, the white man is powerful, want to be with him. But back then, nah, they didn't curl up and die. These guys was getting people.
And you know, I'm going to tell you something else. If it hadn't been for slavery, you and I wouldn't be here today. And I'm going to give you another point. Christians, if Jesus didn't die on the cross, where would you be at today? And I'm not saying, look, the things that happened in history, we have no control over. That happened way back then. Now, just think about this. If you could go back in time, and if you stopped that, guess what? You would disappear immediately. Because the things that went on in that period of time, course of events, we don't know what it might have been. You know, your great-great-grandfather and great-great-grandmother might have snuck out to the barn. If you go up and knock on that barn door at that moment, and he jump up, well, you out of existence. So slavery happened, and because people persevered, we are here today.
Right. And I think when you have that understanding, then you start to have the attitude is like, how do I not allow me to become a victim? It's not, well, this is what happened and I'm ashamed of it. No, we overcame that. And like for example, the Jews with their ideology of it's never again, right? Not getting deep into, you know what I'm saying, but just that narrative that they instilled to their kids. Never again, never again, never again. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to let this happen. Since the Bible and all other shit. So black people, we need to have that same ideology. Okay, we went through it. Our people persevered. We made lemons out of lemonade. But how do we make this never happen again? How do we stand there and say, you know what? My people overcame some of the worst shit that ever happened in humanity. And we standing strong. So you have to come at me with a certain type of respect. But we don't. We're so caught up into the shame and trying to run from history and things of this nature. Or, in another case, we want to relive that history. And it's like, no, we just got to move forward and make smart decisions.
They don't want to let their history go. And then when they want to make changes, some of them, they want white folks to pay for it. Whites ain't going to pay for this stuff. I listened to another station. They was talking about that blacks was left out of media where they couldn't have news media, which was probably true, which was true. But here's the point. If you're going to have media, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a radio station or a TV station, those three concerns use ad dollars to survive. Exactly. So you got to have businesses that's buying ad dollars. Now check this out. You ain't going to have no radio station talking about white man's the devil and what they've done, and you expect white businesses to pay their ad dollars toward that. They ain't going to do it.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening in YouTube.
You know them Hispanic. Hey, you know them Hispanic stations that's talking in Spanish and all that stuff. They got Spanish businesses that's buying the ad from them. It ain't no normal American business because I don't even know what the hell they saying. Exactly. But them Spanish businesses do, so they paying for the ad dollars.
They're paying for the ad dollars, and the Americans that see how much business is coming from there, they'll slap their business on there. They don't even know what they're talking about. Just because they can make so much return.
But you ain't gonna have no black. You ain't gonna have no black radio station, no black TV station that's looking to Ford and Chevrolet and Nissan and Toyota to buy ads, and you're gonna be talking about half of their more than 3/4 of their money base, which is white folks.
Right.
All right. Now, if you can't do that, then what good are you?
But see, that's what we don't get, and that's why every time I'm chilling with my people, I always tell them this racism, white supremacy shit, that shit ain't real.
No,
that shit ain't real. When you start to believe that, if you believe in white supremacy, that means you're saying white man supreme. That makes you inferior. I can't.
And they're not talking about they ain't talking about for real white supremacy. What did I tell you guys what white supremacy was last time I was on your show? White supremacy, when you look at telecommunication, transportation, medicine, finance, shipping, offshore oil drilling, the faces behind them is white. That ain't saying that you cannot get in the game and compete against them.
Exactly. And the sad part about it is our politicians tell us we need to work and we need jobs, and I'm like, why we never speak on building these in economy? Even Nigerians created a Nollywood. The Indians created a Bollywood. Americans, black Americans, are the most creative people. We create web series, movies, all of that. But first thing come out of our mouth, I hope white people will buy this. I hope white people will sponsor me. I hope white people will now have me work for them, and I can. And it's like, why you don't want to create your own shit and compete? You don't want to do that. That's what
it's all about.
And that it irks me, because if we don't have an economy, like you said earlier, how do we pay the politicians to do our bidding?
And who controls the police?
Pay the politicians, the business people.
The politicians control the police, right? Don't they make laws?
They make the laws.
The business control the politics. The politics control the police, and also the politics of the community control the police, because community make rules and regulations that dictate to the police how they're supposed to act.
Exactly. So we don't do none of that, and then we turn around
football
and say,
players, the football
gun
players that's taking a knee, and I don't, it's cool, but hell, you already got the power to stop that shit. You are the employer.
I think it's stupid, because taking a knee is compromising. Because Kaepernick never took a knee; he sat during the anthem. A vet told him to kneel to show respect to the vets and the flag. And that's when he did that. So when I'm hearing people talk about taking a knee, they even I played a clip a couple of shows back where Laura Ingraham, the conservative white woman, she's speaking at one of these conferences for white people. I think it was called the Value Voters thing or whatever. But she's talking, and she said she don't even get the protest. She said because they're taking a knee, maybe they like the flag, because taking a knee is a sign of respect. And I was like, wow.
That's where Knight done when he was anointed, right? He took a knee,
right?
And the king took the sword and touched him on the head with it.
Exactly.
But no, man, some of that stuff is really wild. It's really, really wild. These black communities. And you know what? You protesting on TV, what you're doing is asking white people to do something. Well, whites are saying, we ain't having that problem in our neighborhoods. They ain't having those concerns. You having those concerns in your community with your employees. Change it. What do you want us to do? Come into your community and bitch? Donald Trump cannot tell your local community, your local police department how to act. He has no authority. He just makes remarks for the fun of it or for the excitement out of it. He has no, Barack Obama has no authority over your local police. That's your problem.
I'm going to tell you what's ill with that. Henry Louis Gates was the figurehead for, let's say, call it police misconduct, right? Barack invites that cop and Henry Gates to have a beer, basically. They call it a summit. I don't even know why they call it that, but to have a beer at the White House. Ever since that, we start to see black men getting killed by police. Where's Henry Louis Gates? Why he don't come out and say, see, this is what I was No, you're quiet? But you was the face for it during Barack Obama's administration? That whole shit was set up. That's how I look at it.
It was Henry Louis Gates' neighbor to call the police on his ass, climbing through his window. Which is what they supposed to do. Maybe they got bad eyesight. They seen a figure climbing through your window. If it had been somebody other than him, you would have came. Why come y'all didn't call the police?
Right. See, my whole thing is at the end of the day is I want to know. That's like with the L.A. Riots, right? The L.A. riots happened. Nobody reached out to talk to Rodney King. That don't make sense. So if you're seeing all of these killings happening to black men or police misconduct, let's just say that, why y'all don't go back to Henry Gates and say, let's ask him what he thinks about it, since he was in his own if you didn't see that incident, you wouldn't even know he was involved. So I'm more curious to know what conversation did y'all have at the White House? Because shit intensified after that. It intensified. So I'm like, what was the conversation? And even when it comes to Barack again, this is a man whose father is supposed to be an African from Kenya. Your mother is a white woman, I believe, from Kansas. You killed Muammar Gaddafi, and now there's a big slave trade in Libya?
Oh, man, you see that shit. Wait a minute, hang on. He done it at the behest of Hillary Clinton and Susan Salzman. In the email, Susan congratulates Hillary for persuading Barack to do what eventually led to the killing of Gaddafi. Then you got the other two witches. You got Susan Rice and you got Samantha Powell. Samantha, Susan Rice, and Hillary Clinton, the three wicked witches. Wicked witches.
I got Susan Stossman. I know the Rice.
Susan Rice and Hillary. Susan Rice's husband was kind of close to Barack Obama, and I think he wrote a book. Barack Obama read it. I don't know, but he was kind of close to Barack Obama. So it's a clique. It was a clique. Barack Obama caused more division. Look what he done with that Arab Spring. He told Mubarak to step down. He told Lord Gbagbo in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Africa, to step down. He told somebody, he was telling somebody else in Bahrain, look what happened with Egypt when Mubarak stepped down and the Brotherhood stepped in there. And shit went all crazy. In Libya, them same fighters that came over and attacked Gaddafi, and I can't think of the guy's name, the leader's name. His name is something. But that same group was fighting against U.S. troops in Iraq.
You see?
Then with Sikorsky in France, because France is reaping a whole lot out of this shit. You see what China did? China sent the biggest ship I ever seen over there to take her people out of Libya. Now they get control of the weapons that Libya have, and those weapons is starting to spread all down into Central West Africa, into Mali, where they used and people are getting killed. They're showing up in Niger with this last soldier that got killed. They're showing up with Boko Haram that's killing people in northern Nigeria. Uh, the Nigerian government asked Barack Obama for some planes so that they could fight these terrorists in the north. He said no. They tried to go to Brazil. He told Brazil, nope, don't sell them nothing. When Trump got in there, he said, yeah, we'll help you to fight this terrorist. You don't hear shit about that.
No.
Trump sold them military planes to fight terrorists. So, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all. I don't know how many of y'all on the program, but don't believe that hype about these political parties. And I'm gonna tell you, in some cases, and I don't like everything that Trump is doing. This thing with net neutrality, I think he needs to relook that.
Oh yeah, I don't like that either.
No, I don't like that. But I would rather have him as president for the issues that he said. Tax reform. That's going to help a married couple. So I'm going to have more money. Immigration reform. I think that those immigrants that's here without the proper documentation, they need to take their ass back home. We shouldn't be having no 300,000 of them in prisons that you're paying for. And when they deny their visa, they get to tie the courts up with. Here you got non-citizens in our U.S. courts that we paying for. Here you got illegal immigrants coming up by the busload, getting to go to public schools that you paying for. Blacks are already complaining about they don't have enough African history in school. What happens when you bring in 200 or 300 people from a different country? Well, they're going to want to study their history too. So that cuts in the time that you had to study yours. People don't use no common sense. Those ones that's here working on work visas, okay, train Americans for them jobs and tell them they got to go home. Look at all the blacks that's coming out of college, and it's not nowhere near what it should be with engineering degrees. Those should be their jobs. Them foreigners need to go home. They come here, go to work, then they petition for their wife to come here, then they start having babies. Then when it's time, the babies are citizens, they still foreigners, and you want to send them home, then they start hollering, well, you can't break up the family. All right, you can't break up the family. Then outsiders that's relative to them say, well, their relatives got a right to come visit them. It's one.
It's a whole game. It's a whole game. See, because
the
way I
game.
look at it is, I feel like in America, there should be two economies, the white economy and the black economy. So if you got foreigners that come over and you're black, you're supposed to be the workforce for black America.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it should be. And if you don't
they should be hollering
black,
about minimum wage jobs. We shouldn't. Here it is, 2017. Right. We still talking about minimum wage jobs. Ain't that something?
You know what?
How long we been here?
That's a damn shame. Because we want to be the workforce. And I had to break it down to my homie. I said, black people, the black workforce is the cheap labor for white workforce. The black woman is cheap labor. It's cheaper labor than the black man labor. So when you see all the black women having all these jobs and they like, oh, yeah, you should get a job. It's easy. You blaming the white man. No, you're cheaper than me. Just like us as black people is cheaper than white people. Then the Mexicans come in and they're cheaper than black people. And then we're like, this damn Mexican. But guess what? When are you going to think about creating your own economy? You won't even be playing the minimum wage game. We play the game because we don't want to move up. All the foreigners that come over, the Haitians, Africans, West Indians, black Latinos, you claim black, okay, you work within you're the workforce for black America. The ones that don't claim black, do your bidding in white America. All you Chinese, do your bidding in white America. All you white Latinos, do your bidding in white America and see how you can fare over there. You can't come over here in black America. You see what I'm saying? To strengthen yourself up. Then when they turn around and they say, well, we want to deport the immigrants, they're not going to walk in black America, ICE, looking for immigrants. That's offensive. Because they don't do that to the Jews or the Russians or the Polish, and none of that. Because white people got an economy. They could blend in within that economy. We don't have an economy.
The Latinos pass for both now. They can get involved in stuff that's for affirmative action. Then they get involved in stuff that's for white folks.
Yep. They even got two groups.
Double dip.
They have a caucus and a conference. They have a Hispanic caucus for the Democratic side, and they have a Hispanic conference for the Republican side. Black people only have a caucus. That's it.
Then they got La Raza. Read the mission statement for La Raza. They say they for Latino people. Read the mission statement for the NAACP. They say they for everybody down there. I ain't kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Go on their site and read their mission statement. Read the mission statement. Now, I'll tell you that the Urban League is a little bit better. But read the mission statement for La Raza, and they've changed to some other thing. And read the one for the NAACP. And that's because the NAACP gets its funding from white organizations. They can't say that shit.
It started as a white organization. I keep telling people the NAACP is a watered-down version of the Niagara movement. If you're going to say when the Niagara movement who couldn't survive because of funding, so the white people that started the NAACP invited W.E.B. Du Bois and all of them to come into the NAACP. And even they said the NAACP was a weaker version than the Niagara movement. That should tell you a lot right there.
And Du Bois quit him because he said that they was creating a group of dependents.
Yeah. In 2017, we just as dependent.
How much time you got? Let me tell you some more stuff. Let me tell you some more stuff. All this shit's about competition. Whites do not want black kids competing against theirs.
At all.
I'm working with some people, some Nigerians, and we're talking about making that country independent, where they don't have to depend on fertilizer from other countries, which is China, because China has done a hurt on American fertilizing companies that they don't even export no more. Down there in the South, you got Donaldson. Donaldson is a big fertilizer company. They don't export because they can't compete with China. Now, so these countries are wanting to build their own plants. Now, check this out. Call up an American industrial company that build plants, whether it's power generation station, whether it's chemical plants, whether it's fertilizer plant. When they know that you're a black American talking about partnering with Africa, they ain't going to talk to you. You know why? Because you're starting to get over into that realm of self-dependence, where you can say, I don't need you no more. They're competing now. They having enough problem with China. If you doing it, partnering with an African, because see, now you an American, so how the hell they gonna attack an American and they American? You know, they can talk about bombing China's ass all day long. You follow me?
Yeah.
They won't even return your call. Now China will. It's a different in China's culture.
Right.
If a Chinese business manager is caught doing some improprieties, his ass go to jail, or even worse, he'll commit suicide. We've read those stories.
How about that? Yeah, they might even kill him. Yeah.
Have you heard of that shit going on in the U.S. with managers?
Hell no.
Hell no. They got a different culture. We got to start. I mean, people got to start thinking different.
But I think the whole shit is all based upon competition because white America, their come up always been exploitation. So they're never going to be ashamed or mad about exploitation. But if you're looking at the Chinese now, I think the reason why they heavily punish theirs when they try to be on some funny shit like that is because they know that can't sustain. And if you start moving corrupt, eventually you're going to rot in the whole apple. You know what I'm saying? Where in America, they don't care. I mean, not America, but white Americans, they don't care. They'll sell you a rotten apple. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care about being cruddy. They don't care about being corrupt. They don't care. That's their nature. When you look at their rulership in France and England and shit, and you got the whatever the queen or whatever, and she's like, let them eat cake. You had poor, starving-ass Europeans picking up pitchforks and shit trying to get to the richer class because they were starved out. So we're dealing with people that really don't care about everybody. So when you know that and you say, I got to compete with these people, let's put it on the black American side of the game, and we got to compete with these people. If I see that there's a black person now who's exploiting black people for riches, we have to get rid of that person. Because once that becomes normalized, we go back into being slaves. So that's why
we got to also
remember,
exploit only means taking advantage of an opportunity. It doesn't mean that devious, demonic thing that we have come to be thinking that exploitation means to take advantage of opportunities that exist.
Right. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because I always
say ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's what we complain about gentrification, but we live in these neighborhoods. We sell our drugs in these neighborhoods. We make hundreds of thousands of dollars and never one time say, let me buy the property. Well, I ain't going to say never because some of us do, but then they get shut out. But because they had a situation in the west side of Atlanta. This dude, he a big dope boy. He started buying property. Once the police found out he was buying property, that's when they ran down on him and arrested him. Not when he was selling drugs. Not when he was selling drugs. But when he started buying the property, that's when they shut him down. So there's cases like that. But if your whole thing is just to rape your people, that got to go. But if it's a situation where it's like, hey, you're not doing right by this, here, let me go grab that. This will benefit me down the line. You're too stupid to even realize you sold me a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's nothing really wrong with the exploitation, but we do look at it as the negative, evil. When you hear exploitation, it's like money. When you hear money, first thing people start to think, money is the root of all evil, and it's like, what? Money is a piece of paper that pays debt.
Money is a tool.
That's
what it is.
I heard somebody tell me money is the oil that keeps the wheels in the machine going. And when the person told me that, I said, damn, if you think about it like that, that's deep. Because if you look at money like it's, let's say, gas for your car, you're not going to be making it rain in the club. You're not going to be slapping strippers on their ass with your money because you like, that's gas to get home. Why am I wasting it? But we look at money like, I don't know how we look at money, but we look at it so foul that we don't even realize that these are it's like you said earlier, it's a tool. And when you look at money as a tool, then you're going to get your toolbox and you're going to start fixing shit and building shit instead of blowing it, you know what I'm saying, on bullshit. So a lot of narratives you got to break apart.
They do that. Everybody do that. And one of the famous reasons, methods of doing it is with resources, because the earth produced these resources. I mean, resources are one of the most profitable ways of attaining wealth, because all you got to do is take them out of the ground. You ain't got to make them. You ain't got to design them. You ain't got to cook them in the oven. You take them out of the ground.
Right.
So if you don't control, my grandson is in college. He's doing engineering. I asked him, I said, how many blacks were in your math class? Well, he said, Papa, when I first started, I think it was like 100 in the class. Because, in college they got them big auditoriums. And he said it was about 6 out of 100, maybe 12. I asked, how many in there now? Maybe about 3. Then I asked him about the Asian. I said, how you got a lot of Asians? He said, Papa, Asians do them earth sciences, like geology, And why? It's because they are studying, because Asians are going to store, and they do control a lot of the rare earth minerals.
Yep.
And they have to take those things out the ground. Yeah. They're getting ready for that shit.
They're stacking up. They're not thinking 5 years and 1 year and, when I die, you can't take this with you, the Lord. And no, they're thinking about controlling at least their hemisphere, their part of the world. They're literally stockpiling minerals, raw materials. They're literally stockpiling them, and we don't even get that shit. And it bugs me out because I'm like, it's not hidden. Oh, and the white man, none of this shit is hidden. It's all out here for you to know to know this information. It's not a secret. You know what I'm saying? Why are we not capitalizing off the information or doing something to better ourselves? No, we just sit back and watch. And then once the Chinese turn around and say, you know what? We're going to shut all this shit down. We're going to take over these countries. Then we say, look, Chinese supremacy.
Yeah.
Bad, man.
You're going to be marching against the Chinese. Yeah. Oh, boy. But see, when you figure this stuff out, man, it comes to you just like money snap, But, man, that's why I come out like talking to y'all. Y'all can understand what's going on.
Yeah, we try to give a different perspective because it's not. Sometimes you need some new information. You need a new way of looking at something. You can't keep thinking the same stuff over and over. You can't.
I was talking to some brothers tonight. They talking that white supremacy. I say, look, man, that stuff you talking about don't work. About, well, we got to get to their mind. It always this shit about something wrong with people's mind. I say, you ain't going to have that stuff taught in no public schools. They ain't going to let you teach that in no school. Blacks have tried that going back to the 70s. Man, all you do is tell us what ain't going to happen. What do we do? I said, I'll tell you what you do. Get 10 kids and go to Texas Instrument and buy one of those teacher packs on their graphing calculators. They sell 10 of them for $1,500. Get one for each child, and they give you the curriculum. And make sure that they can master that graphing calculator because they need it when they take up engineering subject. Well, what we got to do? They don't want to do that stuff, man. They want to talk mean, rough, talk about revolutions and all that stuff, and half of them don't even have a damn automobile. You can't go to no revolution riding a damn bus.
Sorry, I was late. The goddamn bus showed up late. I was laughing.
Do the same thing. What did he do? He should know better.
Cursing out Trump. I'm laughing at Snoop because he cursing out Trump, and I'm thinking to myself, wasn't Snoop on The Apprentice, Celebrity Apprentice?
I think he would. I know he sits with what's his name, Buffett, wasn't he?
Yeah. I didn't watch none of the Celebrity Apprentices, but I remember Snoop being on there. And I'm thinking to myself, really and truly, prior to Trump becoming president, all black people fuck with Trump. You can listen to some of the raps where you hear, I mean, not fuck with, I'm talking about idolize Trump and his power. Because you can listen to old raps where you can listen to Nas and everybody talking about staying up in the Trump Tower. I'm trying to get rich like Trump. They even have rappers who named their name Tone Trump. And now that he become president, everybody acting like, oh, this reality TV show president. I'm like, reality show? He's not no reality show. This dude is a builder. What are you talking about?
Man's got a lot of experience. Anytime people pay $35,000 to come listen to him lecture for 2 days, he got to be saying something, right?
Come on.
And,
Stop
and you gonna diss?
people. Man.
You gonna diss the president? I don't give a damn who he is. You are cutting network bridges down.
But
That's
see,
stupid.
when you don't got an economy, you don't think like that. You're not thinking. It's like talking to a renter about ownership. You know what I'm saying? About mortgage issues. The renter never going to get it because we don't got an economy. We don't understand that. I never understood the LeVar Ball. Why wouldn't LeVar Ball say, "Yo, good looking out, Trump, for getting my sons out of China"? No, fuck Trump. I don't even know if he even did that. What? You crazy?
Ain't
man.
that crazy, man? Isn't that damn stupid? Just think about that. That is stupid.
And I'm telling you what's real stupid about it. The stupid part about it is he got his big baller brand sneakers and apparel shit that's let's say it's made in America. You could tie that into Trump and be like, yo, we want the factory that you're green lighting. We want to open up the factory here in America. We could open it in Cleveland and get our shoes and stuff made here. Trump would have green lit that because he already said he green lighting all factory job. I mean, industry type shit that you're trying to create. No, you're gonna curse the man out and say, no, you're gonna, you don't know what he really did. And I'm like, yo, that shit sounds stupid as hell. But
look
I
at
also
what LeBron James said about it. That was stupid.
LeBron James can't talk because he had a Donald issue earlier, and that's Donald Sterling. You know what I'm saying? They spoke for Donald Sterling. So I can't hear nothing you say about Trump. Let's keep it a buck. You got to choose LeBron to stand on your square for Donald Sterling, and you folded. So I can't.
You remember they used to try to get. They used to try to get Michael Jordan. Now, I'm totally against athletes getting involved in political issues, but they can if they want to, but be prepared to suffer the consequences. They used to try to get Michael Jordan involved in those things. Michael Jordan wouldn't do it. Look what he's worth today, $1.3 billion. You cannot be cutting your ties with people that you're going to have to depend on one way or the other. Because you make money off of those arrangements. And you ain't going to even, I don't care if you are down with the cause. You got to have money to be down with the cause. I would rather play it cool, go ahead and play my sport, get paid, get my endorsements, and quietly you can be supporting any damn thing you want.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be standing in front of a news camera saying Trump is a B.I.T., a bitch. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But if they want to do that, they can do it.
But that's the hustle. Because really, your leadership is supposed to come from the people, not from the athletes and things. The athletes is supposed to quietly fund it, like Jimi Hendrix, how he quietly funded the civil rights movement and things of that nature. That's how it's supposed to work. But what happened is they done scared the people and then told them your athletes are now your leaders. But guess who pay your athletes? The same people that you hating. The same people that you saying is white supremacy and shit like that, they pay your athletes. So your athletes is only going to say so much. That's why LeBron James could sound bold because of what's happening in the NFL. But everybody forgets that he was quiet when the whole Donald Sterling. They were supposed to during the playoff not play. And then Magic Johnson, silly ass, he was supposed to position himself and say, if you don't make me or give me that Clippers team, these boys ain't playing for you. No, he negotiated with them and ended up letting the white boy get the Clippers. And I'm like, what? How the hell you got that much power and let that slip out of your hand? That made no sense to me.
And not only that, you're supposed to use that power the same way Maynard Jackson did. When you go through them airports in Atlanta, them concessions are owned mostly by black people. The food service, black people. Transportation, them carts and stuff, black folks. In basketball, you should have blacks in concessions. You should have blacks in sports medicine, the marketing, the coaching, the training, ambulance service, advertising, audio visual.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing about Atlanta.
Missed opportunity.
We're gonna see if it's gonna be Keisha Lance Bottoms or Mary Norwood. We're gonna see what happens. I say this me.
You got that black. You got that mirror, new mirror, right? In Atlanta.
She ain't come yet. Yeah, the runoff comes in December. Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be Mary Norwood. And what people don't understand is if Mary Norwood don't win and Keisha Lance Bottoms win, then that means black people still have a little bit more power in Atlanta. But Mary Norwood lost to Kasim Reed by a couple of 100 points. Straight up. By a couple of 100 votes. So, and then remember, gentrification. The whole purpose of gentrification is to push out that black voting population to make it weaker. So
it does.
White voting population. So that's why I think Mary Norwood got it. And if she gets it, I'm not mad. Because how can you say you had 40 years of black leadership in Atlanta and y'all ain't do shit to solidify your goddamn your city?
Same way with Zimbabwe. Mugabe won the revolution. And then he gave Britain 20 years to pay them white farmers for what they claim they losing. He said, we ain't paying you for our own damn land. But here's the point. He opened the door. He was the Moses that parted the damn Red Sea. But the people did not go back and develop the country.
Nope.
The people that's in the diaspora and other blacks too, they had an opportunity to go to their country and move it forward. The people in Zimbabwe don't know how to do that shit. I mean, they're saying nothing negative, but they don't. They ain't in the. They not in the West running Western businesses. They not in the West where they got access to technology and access to patents and access to the science discoveries. They not in the West where they have discretionary funds.
But it's not even the West. They wasn't even allowed to fuck with them farms. They got a whole documentary called Mugabe and the White Farmer. They wasn't allowed. Them white farmers, if you had your own farm, they would kill you. So when that happened generation after generation,
I remember
you got
that.
Black people, they don't even know how to plant no more. So once you ran the white farmers out, they had the blacks out there looking like, hey, we got the land now, but they don't know what to do with it no more.
Plus, the whites did scorched earth as they left. They tore up shit, tore up irrigation equipment.
All that.
Mugabe tried to get black farmers to come over there. Look, Mugabe tried to get black farmers to come over there. Guess what? Nigeria got them white farmers to come to Nigeria. Now they farming in Nigeria. What's the difference? What is the difference?
What's the difference? None. But here's my question, Bianchi. Scorched earth, is that not a war term?
Yeah, it is.
That's a war term. So that means that's war. Business is war. They don't want you to even with South Africa. Remember, when they switched parties from apartheid to the Zuma and that whole ANC party, they dismantled their nuclear arms. They dismantled the nuclear arms.
Yeah,
They're
they did.
They're never gonna allow you to have power. You have to fight
Israel.
and obtain it.
Israel helped them to get them there. Who are they going to use nuclear arms on? They're going to use them on all the black countries around them. Them white folks in South Africa was crazy as a Betsy bug, man. Them was some crazy fools there, man. And they scared as hell. A lot of them came to California and formed a little community someplace out in the damn desert. And done the same thing over there. In South Africa, they got a little community with their own currency and shit. How in the hell South Africa allow on that? Man, there's some stuff that be going on.
Yeah, they play. See, that's why it's important for us to really understand the game, because when we walk around and we keep on following narratives and thinking, oh, well, like you said earlier, if we just convince white people, get into their minds, show them that we're just like them, we're here. They don't care about that. It's war. It's competition. It's all about sustaining their race. That's it. So if you don't got that within yourself, you're literally going to subconsciously subject yourself to be their workforce, to be their labor.
That's something you have to teach. And you're not going to teach that shit in no damn public schools.
Not at all. Especially when we're funded.
And if a black person that's got the money build you a school, who in the hell is going to maintain it? Who's going to redo the roof repairs, air conditioning, and heating repairs when time comes? That person that built it is not going to be sticking around to take care of that for the rest of their life. So if you don't have the mechanism in place, whatever it may be, and it sure in the hell can't be passing the damn bucket around or having fish and chicken dinners on Saturday.
At all.
Man, I'm going to let you go ahead and go back to your show. You got about 15 minutes. I'm sorry for taking up all the time, but I like talking to y'all.
No.
Good conversation. Good conversation, because sometimes I really want black people to really hear. See, like what I like to do is say off-brand shit, just so I can see the face screw up, and then once I give the explanation, then I see the light bulb shine. Because you have to tear down that narrative and really give the real substance. You know what I'm saying? So you can understand that, a lot of our condition is based off of dumb decisions that we make. And if you understand that, instead of complaining about people taking advantage of you, you'll be strengthening yourself to not get taken advantage again. So, it wasn't no waste of time, brother. It was always a pleasure speaking to you, All
right, man. I'll let y'all get back to your program. I'm going to get out of here.
All right.
Take care, man.
I'll drop.
Once again, that's that brother Pianki, always dropping some serious convo, man. Serious convo. You know what I'm saying? Smoke, we got 12 more minutes inside here. And you know what? We might even have to carry this show a little longer, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a couple of things I do want to build upon, you know what I'm saying? Here's one right here, Smoke. Gaddafi's letter to Obama, right? So there goes. Gaddafi has sent a rambling 3-page letter to Obama imploring him to stop the airstrike, according to the AP. He also wished him luck in the 2012 election. Here's the letter. Our son, Excellency President Obama, we have been hurt morally. We have been hurt more morally than physically. It must mean than physically, because of what has happened against us in both deed and word by you. Despite all this, you will always remain our son, whatever happens. We still pray that you continue to be president of the United States. We endeavor and hope that you will gain victory in the new election campaign. You are a man who has enough courage to annul a wrong and mistaken action. I am sure that you are able to shoulder the responsibility for that. Enough evidence is available, bearing in mind that you are the president of the strongest power in the world. Nowadays, and since NATO is waging an unjust war against a small people of a developing country, this country had already been subjected to embargo and sanctions. Furthermore, it also suffers a direct military armed aggression during Reagan's time. This country is Libya. Hence, the serving world peace, friendship between our people, and for the sake of economic and security cooperation against terror, you are in a position to keep NATO off the Libyan affair for good. As you know too well, democracy and building a civil society cannot be achieved by means of missiles and aircrafts or by backing armed members of Al-Qaeda in Benghazi. I'm going to read that part again. As you know too well, democracy and building of civil society cannot be achieved by means of missile and aircraft or by backing armed members of Al-Qaeda in Benghazi. For all the people who think Al-Qaeda is one of the, terrorist groups that America is fighting. You yourself said on many occasions, one of them in the UN General Assembly, you yourself said on many occasions, one of them in the UN General Assembly, I was witness to that personally, that America is not responsible for the security of other people, that America helps only. This is the right logic. Ironically, this is the same shit that Trump said. Because he says, we're not here to police anybody, shit like that. Show you that they got the same speechwriter. It's only, you know what I'm saying? They talk about that shadow government shit. Our dear son, Excellency, Barack Hussein Abu Obama, your intervention is the name of the USA is a must, so that NATO would withdraw finally from the Libyan affair. Libya should be left to Libyans within the African Union frame. The problem now stands as follows. There is NATO intervention politically as well as military, terror conducted by Al-Qaeda gangs that have been armed in some cities and by force refuse to allow people to go back to their normal lives and carry on with exercising their social people's power as usual. That's the end of the letter, right? That's Muammar Gaddafi, right? That's 5/4/2001, right? So that's Muammar Gaddafi. So how ironic is it, Mo, that once Muammar is murdered, right, and his family ran out, now you got slavery going on in Libya. Then I looked up Susan Rice, right? I click on spouse. You know her husband is? Ian Cameron, a white boy, a producer for 60 Minutes, right? This week, and BBC World News tonight. So that's something else I've been noticing. These politicians fucks with the people who tell you the lies on TV through the news. A lot of times their kids and their offspring end up becoming analysts like Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, Mario
Andrew
Cuomo's son, Andrew Cuomo. You got the police commissioner Kelly, right? His son is a news person too. You got Billy Bush, right, who was on the bus with Trump. He's related to George Bush. You got Jenna Bush, George Bush's daughter, who's out there talking about, you know what I'm saying, on the news and all that shit too. But yeah, Susan Rice, she married to a white boy that's down with the entertainment shit, with the news and all kind of shit like that. So you can't take her serious. And we know about her being on the tarmac telling Bill Clinton, they crooks, yo. They crooks. But that's the game, yo. That's the game. We follow the game because we used to follow narratives. We want to follow narratives.
That's crazy.
So that's that funny shit. Yeah, that's that funny shit. You know what I mean?
Took off the leader and now they got slaves out that bitch. What year we in? God damn.
And that's some shit. Now watch this. Prior to the slavery, prior to all of that other shit, remember Muammar Gaddafi, what was he supposed to be doing? Smoke, if you remember, when it deals with Africa.
Wasn't he trying to do some shit with the economy? Wasn't he trying to do something like with the gold, something with gold and currency? I can't remember 100%.
He was supposed to make, instead of going to the IMF, they was going to go and have their own currency.
Backed by gold.
Backed by gold. So they don't got to depend on the IMF. And the IMF is what? The International Monetary Fund, right?
Right.
But that shit located in New York.
Yeah. Because it would have him accomplishing that would have destroyed all the other currencies that ain't backed by gold and shit. That would have made it the class currency of the world and shit. Essentially.
Exactly. And that's why I say, black people got to stop playing this weirdo game, man, and following these stupid-ass narratives all the goddamn time. Because at the end of the day, we suffer from this shit. Yeah, we suffer from this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we sitting over here now, and it's like, I'm sitting over here listening to, like, you heard about the Haitians, right?
What's that?
Them niggas told me, oh yeah, the Haitians, they got to next year to get the fuck about the country.
No,
you ever hear about that shit?
No,
them niggas got. Yeah, but here's the funny thing, cause I don't trip off them Haitians, man. I ain't tripping off that, cause like I said earlier, we need the economy. We don't got no economy. That's what's gonna happen to us. So listen to this story right here, Smoke, real quick, dealing with. All right, so this is on YouTube. Y'all could look on YouTube. It's called "Did South Carolina Ignore Foreign Worker Loophole Complaints?" It's on CBS this morning, published on November 21st, right? Did South Carolina ignore foreign workers' loophole complaints? So here goes the video. Hold on.
Company that builds and installs automation equipment from its shop in Greenville, South Carolina, just down the road from dozens of major manufacturing plants.
We're right in the middle of what should be a very successful place for not only us to be, but for other automation companies.
But Rouse says jobs that could be done by her 50 local employees are instead going to workers hailing from half a world away.
Our competition is coming in from overseas, from Poland, Romania, Croatia, Italy.
Now peep that. Her competition ain't coming from Haiti, Africa, Mexico, El Salvador, Belize. No, her shit coming from Russia, Croatia, Italy, Poland, all the places that white people opened their arms to and said, bring in your 50-year-old, come to Ellis Island.
Wow.
Ellis Island is the same, it's these people, right? That's who it is. Now watch this.
Same work, same training.
Same training, and in some ways we have better training because we've been doing it longer.
Just a much lower cost.
Much lower cost.
The CBS News investigation this summer discovered hundreds of men from Eastern Europe working for subcontractors on projects in Alabama and Michigan, as well as South Carolina.
What are you doing here?
They are paid as little as $10 an hour and brought to the U.S. for 6 months at a time, thanks to these visas, which allow foreigners to supervise work, but not actually do it themselves. A loophole we at the expense of American workers.
What I said earlier, Smoke, if black Americans would put out energy into rebuilding black America, all the black people from Africa, the West Indies, black Latino areas, the ones that claim black, can be the workforce. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could be the workforce.
Yeah.
Because
it also goes into another thing that we talk about, like legal versus moral. So ain't no morality in what they doing, because it's like they skirting the law by bringing in the supervisors who can be from wherever, and then they bring a workforce in. You know what I'm saying? So the company's not, they subcontracting it. You know what I mean? Instead of the company directly bringing these workers in. So they skirting the law to keep it legal, but it's not morally correct. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when we think about it, we worried about the moral aspect. Oh, well, you can't tell white people they can't. We're gonna upset the Japanese, the Chinese. We worried about. But if it's legal, then that's what we should be worried about. You know what I'm saying? What's legal?
Exactly. And it's also this, Smoke. We'll turn around. Let's say we work there. We'll turn around and we'll be like, see, that's how white supremacy works. These goddamn crackers over here, they don't even speak English. They don't even speak English, and they out here supervising me. Not because you asked for a job, nigga. You asked for a job, and you cool with that shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how that shit go. But, you know what I'm saying? But let me get into another part right here. This right here is called The Big Takeaway of President Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin's Phone Call. I don't even know what this one is about, right, to the truth. But I got the markers broke down, so we'll see what it say. Here we go.
So the exit of Mugabe in Zimbabwe is a lot like the last Lord of the Rings movie. It kept ending like 4 or 5 times, and you just never knew when it was finally going to, the queen was going to come down. Is he gone now for good?
I think he is gone after 37 years, thank God. But it's one thing to oust. It's something else to put in something better that lasts. And that's the real challenge. Can you create it? It's one dictator to another. I hope not. And I think it's too soon to be that negative. But this ought to have been one of the real success stories. Rhodesia had it all. It had the minerals. It had the...
Rhodesia, for ones that don't know. Rhodesia was what crackers carved out in Africa. Rhodesia. This was supposed to be like a white country in black Africa. I'm gonna play this shit again, and I want so once you understand that, listen to how these white people talk when they talk about Africa and when they talk about what they agree with. This is who you dealing with. Instead of trying to convince them of some shit, understand that they don't give a fuck about you, and all they care about is running and controlling you. That is it. And when you understand that, you're not going to try to speak to them anymore, try to convince them about shit. No. You're going to understand who they are and what their objectives are, and who you are and what your objectives better be. Let me play this again.
So the exit of Mugabe in Zimbabwe is a lot like the last Lord of the Rings movie. It kept ending like 4 or 5 times, and you just never knew when it was finally going to, The screening's going to come down. Is he gone now for good?
I think he is gone after 37 years, thank God. But it's one thing to oust. It's something else to put in something better that lasts. And that's the real challenge. Can you create a...
It's one dictator to another.
I hope not. And I think it's too soon to be that negative. But this ought to have been one of the real success stories. Rhodesia had it all. It had the minerals. It had the fertile land. It had a talented demography. But so many people have left. This really shows you what happens with terrible leadership. Mugabe destroyed his country. The question is whether it can gradually come back.
I don't remember back when he first went in there. There was so much hope.
Absolutely.
For that country. Stevie Wonder even wrote about it. Peace has come to Zimbabwe. But it's just, again, it's been 37 years of horrid leadership.
And then what that shows is that transition away from minority rule didn't bring in something good. So the question now is whether this transition away from one-man rule will bring in something good. There's some positive signs. I was actually it was wonderful to watch some of the reactions. Politicians across the aisle excited for the first time in their lives. They can have real politics and not face threats. It's like,
so North Korea.
You see that? This is how wicked white people is. They sit there and say about Rhodesia, and we're going to see how it goes from minority rule to one-man rule. No, it wasn't minority. It was white rule. And white people were oppressing black people, and they turn around and say, Rhodesia was such a promising place, fertile land. You would think it wasn't in Africa, and they oppressed the people and took the shit, and you know what I'm saying? They speaking about fucking Rhodesia, but this is who you're dealing with. These people are psychotic. They're psychos. And I always say when it comes to black people, you need to treat white people the same way you would treat black people. The same way you would treat a fucking gangster-ass black nigga in and out of jail. And you like, yo, I don't trust that nigga in my house. Hell no, I ain't gonna let that nigga know that you need to treat white people the same way. Because that's how they be.
We need to operate like we in the damn hood. We always talk about we hood, we street, we all this and that. We need to operate like that. And so instead of just operating like that when we're around our brothers, our family, our peoples, that should be for everybody. Especially the other side. Because a lot of times you can tell what we up to.
No,
you can
not
tell
the
when
other
we up
side. No, not the other side. This 2017. Especially for the ops. For the ops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to think. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. I gotta get the lingo right.
You know what I'm saying? Gotta get that lingo. You know what I'm saying? I baby asses. Nah, man. He's busting that to
man.
You know what I'm saying? Good.
All right.
So here's another
talk,
Here's another clip I want to play. Some of the videos I wanted to play. I hate that I'm missing one video where there's a black woman that talks about how consumer-based businesses never benefit from tax. Small businesses never benefit from tax reduction.
Yeah, that was the other
But I don't have that. Yeah, I don't got that one, so I'm going to play this one right here, though. I'm going to play this one right here to get, I don't even know what this one's about, but the title is Key GOP Lawmakers Cite Concerns Over Republican Tax Bill.
This is it right here. This is the one right here which you speak on now, if I ain't mistaken.
Wait, with the consumer?
Yeah, I want to say this is the video.
Oh no! I never saved that one. I don't know what she's gonna say, but maybe she might say something that relates to that.
I think she said it in this video, if I ain't mistaken. Because I remember seeing it in one of these videos that we saw, unless it was unless it was something I saw or something else. But it sounded awful familiar, so we'll see.
Let me see. All right, let me see. All right, here we go. And again, the title is MSNBC. Is published November 20th. It's on YouTube. The title is Key GOP Lawmakers Cite Concerns Over Republican Tax Bill. This is Velshi and Rule. All right, so it's called Velshi Rule. Okay, Velshi and Rule. Here we go.
I'm all disagreeing with you in terms of if we give the lower class a tax cut because they don't pay much. They don't pay most of the taxes. Consumerism is not going to drive the economy to great heights. The great heights of consumer or economies always come from investment, and investment creates the next Google.
Then we don't have a fundamental disagreement,
right?
Okay, that's why I remember. See, this wasn't this one. The one I didn't send you that one because I should have saved it, but I never saved it. That was a black woman, and she says on Morning Joy, she says that all small businesses doesn't benefit from these Republican tax credits or whatever. They said that especially consumer-based businesses don't benefit from it. That's why I keep saying we got to stop getting consumer-based businesses. The reason why I grabbed this because this is the host who's agreeing with what this white boy is saying, and the number one thing that he said, Smoke, was this. Watch, I'm gonna play it again.
Fundamental disagreement with you in terms of if we give the lower class a tax cut because they don't pay much. They don't pay most of the taxes. Consumerism is not going to drive the economy.
Consumerism is not going to drive the economy. So if consumerism isn't going to drive the economy, why the fuck telling you about consumer power? You dig what I'm saying, Smoke?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they talking about consumer power if the economists of the economy that you're working within, which is the white economy, is telling you that consumerism don't drive the economy.
Consumerism pads somebody's pocket. That's all they do. You know what I mean? You paying off the investment of somebody else. I invested in these shirts, put designs on them. I'm gonna double the price, and you're gonna help me achieve that goal, the profit that I'm expecting, because I'm gonna sell them to you.
Yep.
And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? So the consumer, like, it's like a bunch of sheep and a wolf. Like a wolf, you know, it's like a little park, and the wolf come in and like, yo, hey, let me get access to these sheep right here. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. It's like, all right, consumerism is like, they see you coming. It's like, all right, it's this group of people, and we're going to sell shit to them. And so when you always hear...
Let me add on to that. So then the sheep is looking at all these mouth-watering ass wolves, and they like, look, they want us. They need us. We got power. No, nigga. You ain't got no power. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the Libyans on the auction block getting sold and shipped to the Arabs. And then the Libyans are saying, I mean, not Libyans, excuse me. The Africans, these black people being sold in Libya on the auction block. And then they turn around and they say shit like, you know what? We got slave power. We got slave power. You're like, you don't got power, man.
And those terms only get applied to us. So when you see that, it's really like it's like an advertisement. So everybody else who have an economy, everybody else who have business, everyone else who's selling shit is like, hey, you see black people? They got $3 billion or whatever the number is in spending power. So you can get rich, and they ready to spend it. So come over here and get your piece of it. That's really all it is, the advertisement. Yeah. So we, as backwards blacks or backwards thought process, that we had.
Right.
You know, we look at that as a powerful. So, you know, going back to what I was saying earlier in the show, we will put something up a high value that's killing them. So when you see people speaking, and you had a clip that you play, a few shows back with the woman, I think it was from Roland Martin's show, and she was just saying how, you know, black women, they basically how much they contribute to the economies.
No. She bragged about how much he really was.
Right.
And she bragged about how much he spent. Oh, it was so disgusting. I forgot about it.
Right. And so that's just an advertisement, you know what I mean? And other people. And so when you see why we to pray, you know what I mean? And we brag on that shit. It's like we bragging that we to pray. Yo, this is how much money we got. Come get it. It's sickening, man. And to hear that, you know, all of these public voices, all of these voices of so-called leadership, when things like that fall out of their mouth, man, it's like you can see why Black America is the way it is.
Yeah.
This is a joke.
Because these are the people that's telling us the narrative. And so we thinking they are friends. You know what I'm saying? We thinking they down for us and all kind of shit like that. And it's like, no, man. These niggas is clowns. They're clowns. They'll tell you in a heartbeat, Smoke, I've been in office for 40 years. So why the fuck is your community like this? Shit.
This is a joke.
Why your community? Crazy. And yo, we got to stop falling for this, man. Tired of falling for this shit. Tired of falling for this bullshit, man. Because it's a damn shame. Because we'll sit here now and we'll allow people to tell us, well, this is what we need to be worrying about. Go talk to a black person and say, yo, black people, we need to have our own shit. And what you're going to get is black people that's going to, what you talking about? Segregation? Huh? I'm talking about black people having power. We can't buy shit just for the black people. We need white people. You're like, huh? You don't feel like that when you're selling crack? You don't say, I can't just sell crack to black people. I have to sell this shit to white people too. No. Niggas ain't got no problem exploiting each other. We only got a problem doing for self. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. That's the only problem we have. Standing on our own. Yeah, that's it. Tired of that shit, man. Tired of that shit. Tired of that stupid ass ideology we follow. Shit got to change. And then and again, it ain't the change ain't with you. That ain't where the change is. The change is through your child. Because this is what I was thinking, Smoke. This is what I was thinking. When you look at the Matrix is this. The ones who was in the Matrix already, Neo and all kind of shit, the snitch. The dude that went against, you know what I'm saying, the whole system, I can't remember what his name is or whatever, so I'm just going to say the snitch. They're never going to be good because they're part of both societies, you know what I'm saying, the fake shit and the real shit. The real people is the two brothers who was born naturally through sex and born outside of the Matrix. You dig what I'm saying? That's the real people right there. So even if you sitting there, you change your name, you're a vegan now, you know what I'm saying? You're not you know what I'm saying, or whatever other shit. You know, you're a vegan, you're reading all your pro-black books, yada, 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 and all that's cool, right? But the truth, that comes through your seed, because that becomes their reality. That's all they know. That's all they know.
Yeah. But I mean, it plays into what the caller said. You know, was speaking on earlier. The Chinese, you know, they getting into raw minerals and things like that. They see that as the future in their country.
No. They're not getting into it. They're stockpiling. They're actively stockpiling.
What the point I'm making is the kids, and he's speaking on his grandson, their kids is in school studying that shit. They in those fields. So while the government of China is doing this and the companies are doing that and they're stockpiling the minerals, they kids is in there learning that shit. So when they become adults, they in those fields and able to control those markets and so forth. That's what Black America needs to do. So we lacking in this. Our kids need to do that. So instead of buying your damn kids spikes and fucking shoulder pads to raise his ass to go to the fucking NFL, you say, what is Black America lacking? We don't got engineers. That's the future of in America, in the world. Your kid need to be doing engineering. Go to the fucking book fair with the kids that they have at the school and get an engineering book. Go to the library, get engineering books. Make sure they're getting their good grades. Google is a motherfucker. You can go look it up to see what the fuck they supposed to be doing. And you got set that path for them. And so that's what we need to be doing with the kids. So it ain't nothing that's crazy. Like you said, it's not going to be with us. It's like we have to have that kid that's born outside of the matrix and those group of kids, that generation of kids, and then you'll start seeing the change in it. But we have to think in terms of that, because niggas playing basketball and all of that shit ain't saving the community.
Hell no. And you know how, I'm going to tell you how real it is. And the reason why I say that, and I always stay live on the show, that I'm not a reader. I don't like reading. I only read because I know how to read. But see, I got 2 sons. My sons don't know that. I collect books because there's certain books that once they get to a certain age, you know what I'm saying? And the age I'm speaking on is like, 8, 9, 10, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have to hit up my library. And that's where I'm going to have all my books, because that's where they came before Columbus and destruction of black civilization, message to the black man. They need that when they're young. So when they're reading these books, they start to realize, oh, the white man's the devil. That's important to the babies. That way they grow up understanding, I don't need to follow them. I don't need to idolize them. I don't need to be around them. I also have books, Why Should White People Have All the Fun, about this brother. I can't even think of his name right now. But that's the title of the book, where he's a lawyer. He talks about his whole life, how he got into becoming a lawyer, and you know what I'm saying, the whole everything about his life. That's his story. I have that too. I also got Monster Cody book. I also got Donald Goins Pimp. I also got 5% book. You know what I'm saying? Hell on all of that shit, because guess what? All that ideology, that's what my son's gonna need to understand the racial game. So they'll be able to sit there and be like, oh, I ain't kissing no white boy ass. Fuck these black chicks. I mean, the black chicks, excuse me. Fuck these white chicks. Yeah, look, I'm so black I can't even think white, right? Fuck these white chicks, you know what I'm saying? Nobody damn thinking about no goddamn white girl, she's smiling all in my face and all kind of shit. Hey, I'm for my sisters. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. But that's not for them to read and then they feel like, oh, we must go to war with the white man. No, that's for them to read so they understand this is who you're competing against. This is their mind frame. This is who they are. So when you get there and they acting funny towards you, it don't shock you. If anything, it prepares you and it makes you say to yourself, you know what? Yo, I ain't fucking with them. Fuck them. You see what I'm saying? That's why that's important. When you want to change your name from John Adams to motherfucking Aliyum Bombay or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's cool for you for changing your name, but the real power is when you change your children's name. That's the real power. Don't change your name to Aliyum Bombay, and then you got your child names Madison and Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Because your child needs to work within the society. No. It's powerful when you change your child's name to Aliyum Bombay, and they talking that pro-black shit, and then somebody asks them, well, what's your name, brother? Yo, my name is King Ashantiwan. And they like, nah, I feel you, but what's your real name? And they like, oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna get into that before we go for sure. And they like, no, that is my real name. You know what I'm saying? That is my real name. And it's like, oh, it's a different meaning. I even heard on Corey Holcomb's show, I was looking at it, right? And I heard Zoe Williams say that. He was like, he was reading and the girl's name was something. I can't think of what the name was, right? Let's say Krishna or some shit like that, right? So he was like, oh, wow. That's the person that was the demigod or whatever of Krishna. So his next comment was, wow, that person knows something. The parents of that girl. Because I believe it's a female name. You see what I'm saying? Why would you say that? Because if you're a reader and you're a studier, and then you hear somebody say, yo, my child's name is, I shouldn't even say it because I don't know the correct pronunciation. Let me see, can I spell it real quick? But it's the, maybe Nigerian. Let me see. But I think it's like Yimi Ya, some shit like that. Okay, well, let me not even say this Yimi Ya. They got one where it goes, like, it's one of the Orisha names, right? Basically what I'm saying, right? So it's a Orisha name, right? So it's like, if you name your child like, I don't know, one of the Orishas, one of the gods. If you name your son Shango or something like that, basically, you know what I'm saying? But it is. It's Yimi Ya, right? And I think Yimi Ya, they saying Yimi Ya. It's a girl. All right, let me not look on this one. Let me look. It's like, all right, Yimi. Yeah, Yimi Ya. Yimi Ya is a goddess of the ocean. If you see a girl now and her name is Yimi Ya, and you like, yo, that's your real name? Yeah, that's my mother named me that. The first thing you're gonna think is, damn, your mom's supposed to got knowledge of herself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's not a name that somebody would just name their child.
Yeah.
Like in America, Black American. You dig what I'm saying? So that's not just a regular name. If you sit there now in your child Shango, and you a teacher, and you like, Shango here, and you see this black kid and shit, and you like, Shango? Like, yo, who named you Shango? Well, my father named me Shango. You're supposed to automatically expect something during parent-teacher night. You know what I'm saying? If they like, yo, Shango, and the mother come in, blue eyes and blonde hair, dark-skinned black woman, and the father come in and his pants sagging and he high with gold, you know what I'm saying, looking like a fucking coon and shit. And you like, man, the fuck made you name your child Shango? You know, it would throw you off. But if you see somebody named Shango or somebody named Obachala, some shit like that, and then you walk inside and these brothers walk in and they like, yo, yeah, peace, black man, you know, yeah, no vaccinations over here. Yeah, my child no knowledge. You like, you know what? I expected that. Just like if you see a child come inside, you reading off the name and you got a child, his name is Farrakhan Muhammad. You like, whoa. That's supposed to let you know, okay, he come from a different line of stock. You dig what I'm saying? He come from a different line of stock. So what we got to understand is when we're sitting over here trying to rebuild this black nation, everything comes through the youth. Through the name, the education, how we carry all of that shit through the youth. You, grown-ass person, trying to change your name means nothing because all you know is what your mama done taught you. Just like the new information you got, you pass it on to your child because all your child going to know is what you taught them. That's how we strengthen ourselves as a people. Listening to In Black America Radio on Fridays and Saturdays, that's how you educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not listening to the other fools out here keep telling you the same narratives over and over again. You get this information, you bring that shit to the youth. And the youth going to make it real because that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of the videos and stuff out, Smoke, so, you know, so we don't keep the people up too long. So we at that 11:32 time right now. So this is definitely going to be the shutdown time, you know what I'm saying? Peace and black power to all the black men and black women out there listening, you know what I'm saying, from America, outside of America and beyond, all around this black globe. You know what I'm saying, who's seeking truth, the truth seekers, not the narrative followers, right? Let me tell you a quick story. Oh, well, two quick stories I'm going to say. One, did you hear that Mace diss to Cam, Smoke?
Yeah. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. So I just see right now, 52 minutes ago on Forbes DVD, Cameron got a response called Black Friday. He just got the snippet. So, you know what I mean? So he's trying to see. You know, the snippet really is, I'm trying to let the street see what it feel like because Mace ain't dropped no snippet. You know what I mean? That nigga dropped that bomb.
He dropped the whole
I heard
joint.
that. That's the goddamn man.
Remember that time you slept with your sister? That's what shit he said.
Oh.
I was like, damn.
Nigga killing. That nigga going at him. I was like, shit, man. The shit was so dope, it made you listen all the other shit that's out. It made all that shit like, yo, turn that stupid shit down, yo. Some real music right here. Real hip-hop. Real hip-hop. Bars right here. You know what I'm saying? It's my era. It's our era type shit. You know what I mean? that's that everybody got their ears towards the fucking speakers and shit trying to get every word for word. Not that, I just feel the vibe. I just caught a vibe. Fuck out of here, emotional ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't caught on all of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and before the shit is over, I want to say this though. Trump wants to end welfare as Bill Clinton knows it. And I think I might not have said it on the show. I know I said it in the real world. But I just want to run through this real quick. We might go get deeper, if we do a Saturday show. But basically, in a nutshell, once this tax reform shit's finished, Trump about to work on the welfare shit next. So all y'all niggas out there balling with y'all shrimp and lobsters on food stamps, that shit about to get shut the fuck down.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying? It's over. And here's the thing, Smoke. Y'all think Trump going to get impeached? You stupid as fuck. That nigga doing the bidding for white America. You think he going to get impeached? You stupid as fuck. Y'all don't understand media. I just read in the Martin Luther King book, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos Our Community, how him and Stokely Carmichael had an issue dealing with, should we use black power or freedom now? They both decided, let's not use either. To cause confusion, let's not use either. They both agreed. It was the media that kept stoking that fire. So when you listening to the media, the same media that told you Hillary Clinton was going to win, this is the same media telling you how fucked up Trump is, but not telling you how fucked up the Democratic Party is. I just read you a story that Doug Jones is saying for Alabama that, the African-American vote, they're not coming out, they're not energized. That makes no sense, because if you're campaigning, how the fuck you're campaigning and the people you're campaigning to ain't interested in voting? That makes no fucking sense. But you know what do make sense, Smoke? That they about to try to turn on us and say instead of depending on that black vote, we need to go back trying to kiss the ass of the white working class. They're gonna say that, and guess what? The white working class, like I told you, don't give a fuck about your black ass, because the black working class is the Mexican to white America. The same way Mexicans are for black America, black people are that for white America. So when your black ass is out here working for fucking $30,000 a year, and this white boy needs fucking $60,000 a year, yeah, you undercutting him. So if you really think Trump's going to get impeached, you're a fucking fool. And I'm standing on that shit. I don't know if it's the Bacardi talking. I'm standing on that shit. Just like I stood on Trump was going to win when everybody said he wasn't going to win. So when 2018 comes, we're going to see, 2019 or whatever the thing is for his reelection, we're going to see. But before we see that for his reelection, pay attention to Alabama voting December 12th to see, does Doug Jones win and turn this red state blue? Or does Roy Moore win and keep that red state red? And Roy Moore said he's on board with any policies that Trump put in place. And when Georgia elect their mayor, we got to see if it's Keisha Lance Bottoms to keep the status quo, or if it's Mary Norwood, who we know when she get in, she gonna go whatever fucking Trump does. So just like the brother Pianki said, it's not about party, nigga. Stop partying. You're not even invited to these niggas' parties. You know you're not invited to the Republican Party. So listen to the Democratic Party. When they talk about how the Republicans got more fucking black staffers than goddamn the Democrats. Listen to the Democrats when they tell you how they had black staffers working for free while paying the white one. Talk about how black woman is the major force in their electional vote on the Democratic side, but even the motherfuckers don't even care about the black woman. She got the least representation. Don't let Maxine Waters and everybody else fool you. Black women got the least representation in the Democratic Party. So if you think the Democratic Party is strong, you're a fucking fool. So the question is, how do we build ourselves up? And we're going to speak more on that, and we're going to continuously speak on that. Because if we don't build ourselves up and stand on our square to make sure we can't be taking advantage no more, we will always be taking advantage. And with that, Smoke, we're going to shut this shit down. You have anything to say after that? Any plugs or whatever?
Nah, yo. It's another week in the building, man. Glad for the listeners. Keep listening. Shout out to Pianki, you know what I'm saying? Always dropping that wisdom as usual. You already know.
Always dropping that shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go to that, obviously on Blog Talk, you know what I'm saying? Y'all always log into that in Black America Radio. You ain't got to agree. You ain't got to disagree. Just listen and then come to your own conclusion. Because this right here is called real information. This right here is called real knowledge. This ain't that fucking that out in the sky bullshit. This ain't that old-ass fucking narrative of, I need like 5 women, and we're going to be living in the jungle planting fruits and drinking water and shit until we get kicked out the country. No, none of that unprepared bullshit. It ain't nothing but a fucking time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't with that shit. We with the real information that when you take this shit, you can apply this shit. I told y'all, put your money up in these E-Trades and things like that. Go to that Kush Bottles, KSHB. I put my money in there at 188. That shit right now, $299. You see what I'm saying? But what about cryptocurrency and Bitcoins? I don't know about that, so I don't fuck with that. I'm going to tell you what I fuck with. Bet you get money off that shit. I'm going to teach y'all about how this dispute game works. All free of charge. I ain't going to sell y'all no sovereignty paper. I'm not going to tell y'all, if you saw this paper, the white man is going to get you up for child support. Nigga, I don't know about all that. I'm going to give you real shit. That's what you get here in Black America Radio. Real shit. If y'all want to listen to the fake shit, y'all listen to that fake shit. And ask me, when the fuck have any of that shit they said came to fruition? All these niggas told y'all about numerology, and that's how Hillary was going to win until she lost. And then they start remixing their answers. These niggas told y'all about the fucking signs of Aquarius and shit, because we coming out of Pisces, now we in Aquarius, and that's the Hillary going to win, and they lied to your black ass. When In Black America was the only goddamn black, pro-black station out here saying Trump going to win, how we going to prep for this shit? Niggas, that shit fell on deaf ears. Ain't nobody listen to that because y'all stood on hope. That's it. I don't fuck with that hope shit. I don't fuck with that God shit. I don't fuck with none of that make-believe shit. I deal in reality. Straight up. And that's the only way to change, alter, or fix your condition. It's through reality. You want to deal with that foo-foo-la shit? All right, listen to them foo-foo-la niggas. And make sure you pay them for their entertainment. But here in Black America Radio, we stand on truth and black power. So, again, Twitter, that's In Black America 7, Facebook, In Black.America, or you could just put in Bobby Black. You'll see that capitalistic pyramid. That's us. Go to YouTube, In Black America Radio for the YouTube. You're going to see that black fist. Like the show. Put a comment if you have a question or a topic or something you want to speak on. Share our shit. Go to the fucking Blog Talk. Share our shit. Make sure you make this shit go viral, share, and promote it. Because we gotta change these people's minds. And if you care enough and you listening, don't listen to today's show and come to your conclusion. How about listening to the old shows? And then say to yourself, damn, did that shit come into fruition? And if it did, then you know you want something real. Smoke, got anything to say to close it out?
Nah, you nailed it on the head, boy. That's what it is.
That's what it is, man. So other than that, I'm going to let Prodigy take us out, man. We might have a show Saturday. We'll see. But other than that, it's always peace.
Ready, real. Everything not Illuminati. Everything not an evil plot. Everything not the black boule. Sometimes people just get shot. Caught up in a random act of violence. Murder overdone.